Hi, and welcome to another episode of Premier Performance in Golf. I'm your host, Jim Newlawn, coming to you with the mindset of proper prior practice is a promoter of Premier Performance in Golf. I want to relate a little something that happened to me this morning. I'm a big believer in listening to YouTube videos, podcasts in the morning, just trying to exercise my brain a little bit and kind of think outside the box. And one of my favorite guys that I listen to and follow a lot on YouTube and also on podcasts is a guy by the name of Gary Vaynerchuk. He goes by Gary V. Gary V-E-E Vaynerchuk, excuse me. V-A-Y-E-R-C-H-U-K. Really good speaker. He doesn't consider himself a motivational speaker, but he certainly motivated me this morning. He's more of an entrepreneur that gives himself quite a bit. I will give you a warning up front that he pulls no punches. He has no filter on the mouth. There's a lot of cursing and explicit content. So just be forewarned now. If you do go follow him, he tells it like it is, but that's just who he is. He grew up in New Jersey. He's a Russian immigrant, grew up on the Jersey streets, so that's who he is. But the thing that he was speaking to this morning that really hit home with me and always thought I was pretty good at was work ethic. And one of the things that he touched upon was regret. And it kind of goes like this. He goes, if you want to see 90 years worth of regret, volunteer at a old age home or a nursing home, and you will see your fair share of 90 years worth of regret from people that had grand ideas that just they never followed up on, different things like that. And it really hit a chord with me from a standpoint that everybody has regret in their lives. That first girlfriend that you don't speak with anymore, or you regret not walking the dogs in the morning, or there's a myriad of things out there that you regret. And one of the things that I regret is never really fulfilling my potential as a golfer. I was one of these kids that golf came real easy to, kind of self-taught. But I like to play more than I like to practice. And there's a part of me, or there's a part of my brain sitting back there that's always had this regret of never really fulfilling my potential. And it's tough because it took so long for me to kind of grasp that concept of, hey, you know what, you're just not good enough, and you're never going to make it out on tour like you wanted to as you're growing up. And so therefore I just kind of stopped dreaming the dream, and I took the easy way out, which is not an easy way out per se. I became a PGA golf professional, and believe me, that is not the easy way out. But it was the easy way out for me because I didn't have to put in the time and the hard work that's needed to become a truly good golfer, and I never gave myself that chance to see how good I could be. I had a lot of talent, but I really believe it was unfulfilled talent. And these kids today that I see and that I'm teaching, some of them have great work ethic, and you know what, if they continue with that work ethic, they're going to realize their dreams, and there's going to be no regret there. But that is such a small percentage of the kids that I see out there. And quite honestly, I'm labeling the kids, but there are plenty of range heroes out there that want to get better, but really just don't put in the time that it really requires to make a change and go from an 80 shooter to a 60 shooter, or a 120 shooter to a 90 shooter. Some people out there just want to be bogey golfers, and they would be happy with that. And to some of you, that doesn't sound like that's a very hard task. All right, but a lot of these players that are out there that are shooting 110, 120, even 100, and they can't get past that mark of breaking 100, they don't put in the time on the range that is needed to accomplish the goals that fits them. And remember, FITS is an acronym that I use, FITS, FITS. Their goals don't fit them because it doesn't fit who they are. It's not that important to them. It's not timely for them because they've got 4 kids, and you know what? Timely can also be, hey, you know what? I just don't take the time to sit there on the range because I'm out there on the range hitting golf balls, and somebody comes up and says, hey, you want to play golf? And their interest is more in golf and not the journey to become a better golfer. And is it simple enough? I mean, some people try these programs that seem like they're genuine and they're going to lead you down the right path, but at the end of the day, there's too much effort that's needed to fulfill what they want to do, and it's not simple enough for them. All right, so these goals then go unfulfilled. Years later, they sit there and they're doing the same as me, thinking, you know what? It could have been better. And so what I want to get across to you today is this. Do not regret the work that you put in on your golf game. Don't become like I did and regret the fact that I didn't put in the effort and I didn't have the fortitude to stick with it. I didn't have the resources, or I didn't take advantage of the resources, or I didn't create resources for myself. Don't regret that. Changing your golf game and taking it to a different level is going to take work. If you're not working and not struggling, all right, once again, if you want to go from one peak to another, if you're coming off of one peak and you finally broke 100, all right, now you want to break 90. Well, guess what? That's a different mountain that you've got to climb. That's not the same mountain. And so therefore, coming off that peak, what do you got to do? You got to go downhill. You got to digress a little bit. You've got to do things that make you uncomfortable, and you just don't stick with it. And so adversity flies in your face, and all of a sudden, guess what? You know what? It's not worth it to me. Well, guess what? Now your goal doesn't fit you. And so therefore, if you're going to go from one peak to another, realize that you've got to go down the other side of the mountain and climb the next mountain. All right? You've got to have the fortitude. Don't have the regret that I had not fulfilling what I believe could have been a very good playing career. Because there were glimpses of a very good playing career. I won a tournament that I considered a tournament that, I mean, there was a lot of good players in there from this area. There was Mark Sheftick was in there. Rick Osberg was in there. A lot of good players were in there, and I won that tournament. And so there were glimpses of stardom there, as to use a corny phrase. There were glimpses of brilliance, but I never followed through with it. Pardon the cliche, pardon the pun. Now, what I want to give to you is this. Think about that 90-year-old that's sitting in the old age home and he's got 90 years worth of regret. Do not make that you at the end of the day. When you're sitting there going back on your life and thinking, wow, you know what, I could have done this and I could have done that. That hard work on the driving range that takes you to the next peak, it is worth it. I can't express that enough. It is worth it, worth it, worth it. That uncomfortable feeling that you get when you weaken your grip and it feels so odd, it's worth it. It's worth it to the parent to invest in their child. If they believe that they have a talent, it is worth that for that parent to invest in their child to see if they can actually fulfill their goals. So, I'm going to leave you with that this morning. Hope you enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully the weather cooperates. Right now it is. So, this is Jim Newlawn getting off my soapbox. Wishing you a great Memorial Day weekend. It is May 27th, 2018. Tomorrow is Memorial Day. Enjoy it, play some golf, have some fun with it, but also put in a little bit of time trying to fulfill your goals. That way there are no regrets at the end of the day. So, Jim Newlawn, promoter of Premier Performance in Golf, trying to kick you in the butt a little bit this morning, get you out there working on those goals. Take care. Have a great day. If you're interested in talking more about this, please, you can reach me at my email at jimnewlawngolf@gmail.com. You can always text me. My cell number is 610-930-6782. Look forward to hearing from you. Until then, I'll see you on the driving range.